South Korea is seeing a widening gap in its gross national income per capita with 7 major economies in the world. It is once again behind Italy that has the lowest figure among the G7. But maybe South Korea's GDP growth could push the country above Italy, as was the case 3 years ago. Our Moon Hye-ryeon has the details.
The gap between South Korea's gross national income and that of G7 countries is growing bigger on the back of the weakening Korean won and slow economic growth. According to data released by the Bank of Korea on Monday, the country's gross national income per capita by the World Bank's latest measurements for 2022 came to $35,990. GNI per capita is an important economic metric as it represents national income. Of the G7 countries, the top 7 economies in the world, Italy had the lowest GNI per capita at just under $37,000. But this is still over $1,700 more than South Korea. Back in 2020, South Korea's GNI per capita ranked above Italy's by $610, the first time in history that the country had recorded such a feat. However, this was temporary as Italy recorded a 9% decline in economic growth due to the effects of COVID-19. The following year, in 2021, Italy's GNI per capita rose by over $1,000. When compared to the United States, which ranks first among G7 countries in terms of GNI per capita, the gap widened with the US figure at around $40,000. The growing gap has been attributed to the weakening Korean won as well as differences in economic growth. According to the Bank of Korea's economic statistics system, the Korean won depreciated by around 13% in 2022 compared to 2021, when comparing the average $1 exchange rates throughout the year. While the euro, which is used in Italy, also fell against the greenback, the average euro-dollar exchange rate throughout 2022 was around 11% lower than the previous year, showing that the decline of its currency was weaker than that of the Korean won. As for economic growth, Italy's gross domestic product grew by 3.7% last year. This is more than 1 percentage point higher than South Korea's GDP for the same period, which was recorded at 2.6%. Whether South Korea can overtake Italy once again this year is dependent on GDP growth, as the exchange rate is said to be unlikely to recover within the next few months. The South Korean government has maintained its growth projection of 1.4% for the year, while Italy has reduced its outlook from 1% to 0.8%. Moon Hye-ryeon, Arirang News.